If every single financier says, nope, not going to give you money, maybe it's a sign either the script isn't any good or your skills have started to decline. Francis Ford Coppola is broke again. Francis Ford Coppola, the legendary director of The Godfather and Apocalypse Now, 2 movies I love, really all the Godfathers, so 4 movies I love, says he's broke and he's auctioning off a $1 million watch to stay afloat. According to the New York Times, Coppola will sell 7 luxury watches, including an FP Journe prototype he co-designed worth over $1 million. He says, quote, "I need to get some money to keep the ship afloat," he said from Rome. It's not new for him. He declared bankruptcy in the 1980s after One from the Heart flopped, owing $98 million. His latest self-financed film, Megalopolis, which I did not see, cost over $100 million, mostly his own money, but made only $14.4 million at the box office. Still, Coppola remains the ultimate artistic gambler, betting his legacy on vision, not profit. What's the real message here? Francis Ford Coppola should be admired and respected for his artistry in his craft. He should not be respected for his own personal financial management. Don't bet the ranch every single time on every idea you have, because if you do that long enough, you too can go bankrupt. Let's dig a little deeper here. This is fascinating to me. Now, we're not going to pass a hat around to collect money. We're not going to start a GoFundMe charity for Francis Ford Coppola. I mean, he's got $1 million watch, okay? There is a point at some point when you owe so many millions to other people that they got to keep you around just hoping you'll make it big, and they can't take everything back. But still, let's look at some of the numbers here. He's declared bankruptcy before, $98 million in debt. Lifetime, his films, according to some estimates, have made $1.9 billion. Okay, but he didn't get to keep all that. The best estimates are that he's made $300 million. That's a lot of money to have no money. The Godfather trilogy alone grossed $1.15 billion. Apocalypse Now, which is a fantastic movie if you haven't seen it, grossed $150 million. Now today he's wearing the same thing I'm wearing, an Apple Watch. We're both wearing the same watch. The difference is I've never had $1 million watch. And to be honest, I don't even want $1 million. He was asked, how often do you wear the watch? He's like, oh, I can't really wear it. It's too hard to insure. So he's never even gotten to wear it. So he's obviously an artistic visionary, but at some point you can be an artistic visionary and still build some net worth. You can still develop an increasingly comfortable lifestyle. There is an old saying in Hollywood, never invest your own money. You're stupid to invest your own money. Always use other people's money. Always use OPM. And he has violated that numerous times. And he would have gotten away with it until this last movie, Megalopolis. It's all about this bizarre future world. It sounded like a fantastic premise. And frankly, I was excited to go see it, but I read the reviews, and virtually every single review said, this is the most disjointed, bizarre, nonsensical, uninteresting mishmash of a movie ever. So I've not seen it. If you've seen it and you want to make a dissent, feel free. You can post comment. This or any other topic. We make this show live every day. We stream it live on all social media podcasts, as well as in the podcasting world. It's at Podbean, the live there, if you want to actually listen to us live. And then most people do consume this show on demand on social media platforms as well as podcasts. But if you watch live, you can post questions live while we record the show each morning. You can also post questions and comments after the show on the on-demand, and I do read all comments and I do respond most of the time. A couple other things about Francis Ford Coppola. It's great to have a vision. And you look at a lot of the top filmmakers of the world. You look at someone like Michael Moore in the documentary space. If you look at someone like Spike Lee, for their first movie, yeah, they were all in. Credit card debt, bake sales, but they didn't keep doing that for every movie throughout their career, even after they've already grossed $1 billion. At some point, you form alliances with people who believe in you, people who want to back your vision, producers who want to bankroll you. And if nobody wants to make your movie, it may be because you're not famous yet. You don't have a track record, okay? If I go to Hollywood now, I could have the best idea in the world for a screenplay I've written, and I'm not going to raise $10 million to make that movie, even if it's the greatest possible screenplay ever. It's because I have no credibility in Hollywood. I've never made a movie. I've never even made a compelling short form 3-minute cartoon. So someone would be crazy to give me money, but I'm not Francis Ford Coppola. If I'm Francis Ford Coppola and I've made The Godfather and The Godfather 2 and The Godfather 3 and Apocalypse and all these other great movies, and I've got a screenplay and I say, give me money to make this, and every single producer says, nope, sorry, don't think so. If every single financier says, nope, not going to give you money, maybe it's a sign either the script isn't any good or your skills have started to decline. Now, Francis Ford Coppola, he's in his 80s. That doesn't by itself mean he can't be creative anymore. Clint Eastwood is in his 90s. He's still directing movies. But at some point, you do need to listen to the marketplace. And if you're completely okay with not having any money and going from owning vineyards as Francis Ford Coppola, live mansions and houses all around the globe, to moving into a studio apartment, I guess it's okay. You've got to do that. And I'm not suggesting he's moving into a studio apartment, but he's had to sell both of his wineries. And if you've ever been to a wine store, you've probably seen Coppola on some bottles. That was his winery, gone. He clearly has more passion for making films than he does wineries, but do you have to give up everything? At some point, there can be a time to retire, and it's good to listen to the market. My show right here with you is relatively new. I've been in the training business for 40 years, working with political leaders, CEOs, billionaires, people in every industry. It's going to be very easy for me to figure when to retire that part of my business because no one will pick up the phone and call me and hire me. That's easy. It's going to be easy to figure out when to retire from doing a show like this because one day no one will watch because I'll have lost my marbles. And ideally I stop before that. And there's no advertising and there's no audience for advertising. So it'll naturally occur. But if you're a filmmaker and the thing you try to create takes this giant bundle of money to get off the ground, then it's harder to really tell sometimes. And rich, successful people can often be surrounded by sycophants saying, hey, you're a genius, boss. Everything you do touches to gold. You can be egged on by people who want to be a part of it. You got to watch out for that. I don't know if that's what's happened to Francis Ford Coppola or not, but it's a little bit sad to see someone who has created so many great artifacts of our culture. The most important films in the history of filmmaking, or some of them, to reduce to having to sell everything he owns or a lot of what he owns. It's a little sad. I'm hoping he could still make another movie or something, but he can do it in a way where he invests other people's money. But it's not going to be mine, okay?